Welcome to Echoes of Mind and Delta. We're all about exploring alternative medicines like CBD and psilocybin and how they can help us level up our mental health. If you're into that, hit that like button and subscribe to join us on this awesome journey. In your quest to understand the complexities surrounding the legal frameworks governing substances, it's pivotal to delve into the realm of psilocybin and magic mushrooms. These naturally occurring psychedelics have been both vilified and celebrated across cultures and time periods. Originating from certain species of fungi, these compounds offer profound psychoactive experiences. The conversation around their status is not merely academic, it touches on broader themes of consciousness, medicine, and law. The narrative of psilocybin is rich and varied. Its use in ritualistic and spiritual contexts dates back centuries, yet in modern times it has been caught in the web of legal scrutiny and societal stigma. The journey of understanding its place within our legal and cultural frameworks begins with a look into its nature and effects. Psilocybin induces a range of experiences, from vivid visual hallucinations to deep introspective states, making it a subject of fascination and fear. Understanding the biological and psychological impact of magic mushrooms sets the stage for a deeper exploration into how societies have attempted to regulate their use. The legal standing of psilocybin is a tapestry woven from threads of historical precedent, scientific discovery, and evolving societal values. As we embark on this analysis, keep in mind the dual aspects of psilocybin as a substance of abuse and a potential therapeutic agent. The framework for regulating drugs, including psilocybin, is grounded in the concept of controlled substances. This classification system aims to categorize drugs based on their potential for abuse, medical value, and safety under medical supervision. Understanding this system is crucial for unraveling the legal complexities surrounding psychedelics. Controlled substances are divided into schedules, with Schedule I marking drugs deemed to have a high potential for abuse and no accepted medical use. The designation of a drug into a schedule influences everything from research opportunities to legal penalties for possession and distribution. The criteria for classification are ostensibly objective, but the placement of certain drugs, including psilocybin, often sparks debate among scientists, policymakers, and advocates. The classification system serves as a tool for drug regulation, shaping the landscape of legal, medical, and recreational drug use. As we explore the placement of psilocybin within this framework, consider the balance between controlling substance abuse and enabling medical research and therapeutic use. Psilocybin's classification as a Schedule I substance is at the heart of the controversy surrounding its legal status. This categorization implies that it is seen as having a high potential for abuse with no currently accepted medical use in the United States, a stance that has significant implications for research and therapy. The rationale behind this classification has been questioned by researchers and advocates alike. Critics argue that the therapeutic potential of psilocybin, particularly in treating conditions like depression and PTSD, challenges the notion that it lacks medical utility. Furthermore, the risk profile of psilocybin, especially when compared to other Schedule I substances, suggests that its potential for abuse may be overstated. This classification not only restricts access to psilocybin for therapeutic purposes but also limits scientific research. The hurdles to studying Schedule I substances are formidable, requiring extensive regulatory approval that can stifle innovation and understanding. As we examine the historical context of this classification, the complexities of drug policy and its impact on psilocybin become increasingly apparent. The regulatory journey of psilocybin reflects broader shifts in society's approach to drug policy. In the mid-20th century, psilocybin and other psychedelics captured the public's imagination, symbolizing both the potential for spiritual awakening and the dangers of unrestrained experimentation. The backlash against psychedelics, fueled by sensational media coverage and concerns over public health, led to stringent regulations. The Controlled Substances Act of 1970 marked a turning point, placing psilocybin among the ranks of Schedule I substances. This decision was influenced by the political and social climate of the time, which prioritized a punitive approach to drug use. The categorization of psilocybin was less about its specific risk profile and more about sending a message in the war on drugs. Understanding the historical reasons behind psilocybin's legal status offers insights into the challenges and opportunities for change. The path to reevaluation is tangled with questions of science, morality, and politics, reflecting the complexity of drug regulation in society. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, plays a pivotal role in the potential medical use of psychedelics, including psilocybin. The approval process for new therapies is rigorous, designed to ensure that only safe and effective treatments reach the public. For psilocybin, this process represents both a barrier and a gateway to legitimacy as a therapeutic agent. The journey from initial research to FDA approval is long and fraught with challenges. Clinical trials must demonstrate not only efficacy but also safety, a high hurdle for any drug, let alone one classified as Schedule 1. However, recent breakthroughs in psilocybin research have prompted the FDA to grant breakthrough therapy designation to certain studies, signaling a shift in perception. This evolving stance by the FDA could pave the way for psilocybin's reclassification and integration into mainstream medicine. The approval process, while stringent, is ultimately driven by evidence. As more research illuminates the benefits of psilocybin therapy, the legal and regulatory landscape may undergo significant transformation. The legal status of psilocybin varies widely across the globe, reflecting diverse cultural, legal, and scientific perspectives. In some countries, psilocybin remains strictly prohibited, classified alongside drugs considered to pose significant risks to individuals and society. In others, a more nuanced approach has emerged, recognizing the potential therapeutic benefits and cultural significance of psilocybin. In the United States, psilocybin is federally classified as a Schedule I substance, but recent movements at the state and city levels indicate a growing willingness to reconsider its status. Decriminalization initiatives and research exemptions are challenging the federal stance, creating a patchwork of regulations that hint at future change. Comparatively, countries like the Netherlands have adopted more liberal policies allowing for the sale and use of psilocybin-containing truffles in a regulated framework. This approach balances the risks and benefits of psilocybin, providing a model for other nations considering reform. The international landscape is complex, mirroring the broader debates surrounding drug policy and therapeutic innovation. The resurgence of interest in psilocybin's therapeutic potential marks a significant shift in the conversation around psychedelics. Decades of research hiatus are giving way to a new era of studies exploring how psilocybin can be harnessed to treat various mental health disorders. The preliminary results are promising, suggesting that psilocybin could revolutionize the treatment of depression, anxiety, PTSD, and addiction. Clinical trials are uncovering the mechanisms through which psilocybin exerts its effects, offering insights into the complex interplay between brain chemistry and psychological experience. These studies are not only challenging the stigma surrounding psychedelics, but also broadening our understanding of mental health. The therapeutic use of psilocybin, however, is entangled with legal and regulatory challenges. Despite the barriers, the momentum behind medical research is building, driven by compelling evidence and a growing recognition of the limitations of traditional psychiatric medications. As the body of evidence supporting psilocybin's efficacy grows, so too does the call for reevaluating its legal status. The movement toward decriminalization and reform of drug policy concerning psilocybin is gaining traction. Advocates argue that current laws disproportionately penalize individuals, stifle research, and ignore the therapeutic potential of psychedelics. Decriminalization efforts, from local initiatives to national debates, reflect a growing consensus that the war on drugs has failed to address the root causes of substance abuse and has instead exacerbated societal harms. Decriminalization does not imply an unregulated free-for-all, but rather a shift toward a health-focused approach to drug policy. By removing criminal penalties for possession and use, resources can be reallocated to harm reduction, education, and treatment. This paradigm shift also opens the door for scientific research, allowing a more nuanced understanding of psychedelics to inform policy and practice. The path to decriminalization and reform is fraught with challenges, from political opposition to public skepticism. However, the successes of grassroots campaigns and changing public opinion indicate a shift in the zeitgeist. As societies grapple with the complexities of drug policy, psilocybin stands at the forefront of a broader conversation about freedom, health, and justice. The discourse around psilocybin is often polarized, framed as a binary choice between unquestioning acceptance and outright rejection. A more nuanced examination reveals a spectrum of potential benefits and risks, necessitating a balanced approach to its use and regulation. The benefits of psilocybin, particularly in therapeutic contexts, are increasingly supported by scientific evidence. Studies suggest that psilocybin can facilitate profound psychological experiences, offering relief from conditions that are often resistant to traditional treatments. The potential for psilocybin to catalyze lasting change in mental health paradigms is immense, offering hope to those for whom conventional therapies have fallen short. However, the risks associated with psilocybin, including psychological distress and the potential for misuse, cannot be ignored. The challenge lies in mitigating these risks while maximizing the benefits, a task that requires careful regulation and education. The development of protocols for supervised therapeutic use alongside research into the factors that influence individual responses to psilocybin are critical steps in this direction. The conversation about psilocybin's benefits and risks is evolving, informed by a growing body of research and changing societal attitudes. As with any powerful substance, the key lies in understanding and respect approaching psilocybin with caution but also with an open mind to its potential. The public perception of psilocybin and psychedelics in general is shaped by a complex interplay of historical, cultural, and media influences. Stigma, rooted in decades of sensationalism and misinformation, casts a long shadow over the conversation about psychedelics. Overcoming this stigma is a crucial step toward a rational and informed discourse on psilocybin. Efforts to change public perception are multifaceted, involving education, advocacy, and the sharing of personal stories. By highlighting the scientific research on psilocybin's therapeutic potential and challenging outdated stereotypes, these efforts aim to foster a more nuanced understanding of psychedelics. The role of media and popular culture in shaping attitudes cannot be underestimated, and there is a growing movement to counteract negative portrayals with evidence-based information. Changing the narrative around psilocybin requires patience and persistence. It involves not only highlighting the positives but also acknowledging the complexities and challenges. As society becomes more open to discussing mental health and alternative therapies, the stigma surrounding psychedelics is slowly eroding, paving the way for a more informed and compassionate approach. The enforcement of drug laws and the regulation of substances like psilocybin are deeply intertwined with broader issues of policy, justice, and societal harm. The current approach to drug enforcement, with its emphasis on criminalization and punishment, has been critiqued for its effectiveness and ethical implications. The regulation of psilocybin within this framework raises questions about the balance between public safety and individual freedom. Efforts to reform drug enforcement practices with regard to psychedelics are gaining momentum, advocating for a shift from punitive measures to harm reduction and treatment. This approach recognizes the potential therapeutic value of substances like psilocybin and seeks to reduce the negative outcomes associated with their criminalization. The challenge lies in creating a regulatory framework that safeguards public health while enabling access to psilocybin for research and therapeutic use. The debate over drug enforcement and psilocybin regulation is part of a larger conversation about the goals and values of society's approach to drugs. As attitudes shift and new evidence emerges, the potential for change grows. The path forward requires a delicate balancing act, informed by science, compassion, and a commitment to justice. The future of psilocybin, from its legal status to its role in medicine and society, is at a crossroads. The trends toward decriminalization, medical research, and changing public attitudes suggest a possible shift away from prohibition and toward a more nuanced approach. The potential for legalization and regulatory changes hinges on a variety of factors, including scientific evidence, political will, and societal values. The path to legalization and integration into mainstream medicine is fraught with challenges but also ripe with potential. As the body of evidence supporting the therapeutic use of psilocybin grows, so too does the possibility of reclassifying it under controlled substances laws. This process would not only facilitate research and therapeutic use, but also represent a significant shift in how society views and manages psychedelics. The future outlook for psilocybin is a reflection of broader shifts in attitudes toward drug policy, mental health, and the role of psychedelics in society. While uncertainty remains, the momentum behind research, advocacy, and policy reform offers hope for a future in which psilocybin's potential is fully realized and responsibly harnessed. The debate surrounding the legal status of psilocybin is emblematic of larger questions about drug policy, mental health treatment, and societal values. As you've journeyed through the complexities of controlled substances laws, the historical context of regulation, and the evolving landscape of medical research and public perception, the multifaceted nature of the issue becomes clear. Psilocybin stands at the intersection of science, law, and culture, offering a unique lens through which to examine broader societal debates. The path forward is marked by challenges and opportunities. The potential for psilocybin to contribute to mental health treatment, coupled with the movement toward decriminalization and reform, suggests a possible reevaluation of its legal status. However, this process is contingent upon a careful balancing of risks and benefits, informed by rigorous scientific research and thoughtful policy analysis. As the conversation about psilocybin and its place in society continues, it is crucial to approach the topic with an open mind and a commitment to evidence-based discourse. The legal status of psilocybin is more than a legislative issue. It's a reflection of how society navigates the complex interplay of health, freedom, and responsibility. Enjoyed the video? Like, comment, and subscribe to engage in the conversation and stay informed on the latest developments in the legal status of psilocybin and other controlled substances. Your voice matters in shaping the future of drug policy and mental health treatment.